Like getting featured in a leading international tech media can be really a game changer for the startup.
Welcome to The Executives, the show where we navigate in the intricate world of executive leadership, exploring strategies, insights, personal stories of successful professionals shaping the global business landscape. I'm your host, Majid, and today we have a special guest with us, Natalia, a seasoned PR specialist with a rich background in managing public relations for various organizations, including an IT community, European Association for Software Engineering and prominent brand like Vodafone. Today, we will deep dive into PR's role in startup growth and branding. Welcome to the show, Natalia.
Hello, Majid. Thank you for offering me such a great opportunity to join your podcast, and I'm really happy to be here and to share some insights about PR.
So, before we jump right into talking about PR and startups, I do have something interesting that I would like to know. If you love food, or are you a foodie?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just a big fan of food, and especially like which is sweet and something like this.
So, what is your favorite food? Something that you absolutely love?
In Ukraine, actually, our association is from Ukraine, and I'm naturally from Ukraine. It is one popular dish, like a soup, which is called borscht. Have you heard about it?
No,
No.
I don't know. So maybe you can tell our audience how does it look and taste like.
Okay, so it's just a soup, but its color is red. And like the taste, it's like a soup with meat, and this taste is a typical Ukrainian one. It's even hard to explain, so it's usually people eat it with some onion or something like this. And it's really tasty. And I suppose if you will ask like every Ukrainian, most of the people will answer you the same. Like this borscht dish is a great one.
Okay, all right. So let's jump right into the topic because it's a very interesting one. Can you share with our listeners a bit about your journey in the PR world and how did you come across to specialize in the subject of public relations?
Yeah, sure. So actually, I began my PR adventure or journey not so long ago. It was like 3 years ago while I was still studying in the university. And I also was studying on the public relations. So I work following my specialization. And during that university time, I landed my first gig, like an internship in the prominent Ukrainian marketing advertising agency. And they soon recognized some potential, PR potential in me, and I just come to them on the role of a full-time PR specialist. So during that time, I had managed three projects in parallel, working with some governmental projects, like Baby Box. It's actually a worldwide program, and it's a state one which promotes responsible parenthood. I also worked with such clients worldwide famous as Vodafone, as Schneider Electric. So it was really interesting for me. And I was just always coordinating with journalists, setting some interviews, and frequently getting stories published and featured in different media. And I also, so it was great, but however, While this experience, I understood that my heart always landed towards tech because it's like innovation, it's the future, and it symbolizes like to be on the forefront of innovations while working as a PR manager in that field. So that's why I decided to change the game, and I started my work in the European Association of Software Engineering. It's a Ukrainian IT community which helps IT companies and startups to grow, to scale on the foreign markets. And actually, now I'm really happy with my work because it opens me a lot of opportunities, worldwide connections, networking, partnerships, not only working with Ukraine but worldwide. And it's like the main case and the most precious thing for me.
Is the European Association for Software Engineering is it a for-profit business or a not-for-profit business, and how does it work if it's a not-for-profit? What are the logics behind?
It's not for profit. We still have some amount of money to pay for a company to enter, but it's like it's not big enough even to cover our organizational costs because at ACE we not only promoting Ukrainian companies on the foreign markets. We're also organizing our own events, and we organize approximately like 10 events per month in offline in two different countries, Ukraine and Warsaw, because we have representatives in these countries right now. And we are also thinking about scaling on other markets. So it's quite expensive, but still we have some organizations and people who provide us with financial support.
And so, why is PR so crucial for startups? What is the reason that it is something very important that startups actually need to look into?
Like getting featured in a leading international tech media can be really a game changer for the startup. It might attract new investors. It might even skyrocket your business, your startup, and increase your company's earnings. So that's why it's really crucial.
And how does uh, PR for startups and corporates differ? What is the difference between the two? Because startups not normally have a lot of budget.
So yeah, when it's really differs because when we discuss and when we discuss this difference between PR for startups and PR for established companies, it's hard to swallow. But sometimes, like even medical products that are well promoted can grab all of the clients, all of the investitions, so all of the available activities, and they can even outperform excellent products that are not so marketing and PR promoted. So in that case, it's really important to follow this communication rules or plans for PR for startups. And one of the uh, I also like even to give an example, like a case when Instagram grabbed the Snapchat stories. So they are still two big brands, but Instagram is bigger, and because of this reputation, Instagram was more succeeded in this case. And if we're talking about also this difference in communication, I mean like communication rules, like the main difference is that startups they are quick, so they have to adapt quick and fast to some situations so which are happening and you cannot even think ahead of it. So and it's their main advantage if comparing with established companies. So and it's really especially precious in these times of crisis. Like in Ukraine, for example, the war unexpectedly come, and now startups even teach those established. companies how to set their communications fast and productively in this fast-paced times. That's what make a real difference, and that these established companies they often stick to the old ways of communication, and that's it. But startup they are more innovations as in their work as in their communication goals.
So, can you share with us a story, a success story for a startup in handling PR, or how they did PR was very good?
Yeah, for sure. Like one Ukrainian startup which is called Reface. It's like an AI tool which helps to change the face. It's like something more for fun, but still. They had a great communication and they were published in such media as TechCrunch, The Verge, Mashable, and many others. And as a result, they gained high investitions. It's hard to remember the specific amount, but still they were first they got this investition, then reputation, and they are famous worldwide in that niche, in that exact niche. And actually, what's also important is that Reface up. It's not only the one case of such Ukrainian startup. Probably you know this Grammarly app, or it's just one of the most popular AI tool to check your English written content. As well, they gained many of their investments from the PR articles because many investors they scroll media which feature different PR which feature different startups and according to these materials they decide which startup to communicate with and then probably to make an investigation, so it's really crucial.
And what are some of the challenges in handling PR for startups, and how can startups navigate them? Because they do have challenges they face during PR.
Yeah, for sure. So there are two main challenges that I would like to figure out. Is first, it's especially popular in Ukraine that many startup founders they might not see that value in PR, and they might be doubtful about PR balance. So they often question, like, what business goals PR can actually adopt with or can solve. So, for my perspective, like the best way how I worked with this is to have an open dialogue with this specific founder. You have to know on which phase startup is currently appearing and which these business goals it has, and then just understand whether it needs PR or not, because PR can actively really just address matters like building brands awareness, achieving those investitions, boost their reputation, even find some customers, clients. So really a lot of stuff, but still you need to have this open dialogue probably to show some cases where when PR has promoted the brand or the startup with these benefits, and only then you will figure it out. So it's for the first challenge. And if talking about the next one, the second, it's the competition. It's if especially if we're talking about startups who are developing worldwide. The competition is really high. I searched for some statistics recently, and I figured out that now it's about 150 million startups right now, and 50 million new startups are creating each year, like annually. Also, talking about the statistics, how many pictures journalists can achieve during the day. Not so long time ago, I was on the international startup conference Bits and Pretzels in Germany, Munich, and I listened to the speaker on the one election, which told who told that like one ordinary journalist can get 1,000 pictures from PR professionals per day. So on the email, it's really a high amount. So this competition is inevitable, and know that from this 1,000 pictures per day, only 1% of these pictures can be published or featured. So taking this into advantage, you see it's really hard to gain those publications, but still it's possible. So you need to follow some communication rules, like to find, like to create the exclusive content for the media, to make a good research of the media or journalists, to find the exact right person whom to communicate with, just to be specifically on the same page with journalist topic which he is featuring about. Yeah, so that's really important. And these rules, I usually follow these rules in my work, and they can help me just to be at least to have my email be read among all of these 1,000. But still, it's not following these rules is not 100% that you will be covered. One of the main skill of PR manager is to be, or PR expert is to be stressful, and even if you have a lot of rejections, you have to go ahead and believe in you and your product, in startup which you promote, and only then you will gain the success. So it's like one of the main soft skill which PR professional needs to for successful work.
So you mentioned you were at Bits and Pretzels that was recently held in Munich. Are these events good for startups? That if they should go to these events and or no?
Yeah, for sure, it's a great opportunity, but only attending such events won't give you that profit. You need to prepare for them. Like you in at Bits and Pretzels event, there were a great opportunity. So they had like a networking app where you could find and research the audience who will attend the conference, and then to set the meetings before it. So not so many events have such an opportunity, or they have it for some price or something like this. Like if comparing even Riga Home Conference, also I attended last week, they didn't have such an option. So even if you don't have this app, you don't have the base of the contacts which will attend the conference, you should look through the LinkedIn, for example, and or some website of the conference in order to understand which people will attend such conferences, and then think ahead with whom will it be valuable to chat. And then just to create write to these people and set some meetings on the conference. If you want to have some PR promotion, first you need to look for the journalists. Probably to go to some stages where the journalists are presenting, and try to pitch them after their speech or something like this, or just try to pitch your startup even while you're walking around the conference and see the journalists, because the most important thing in this pitching, in this scheduling meetings with the journalist is not to make like the standard pitch, to make it more personalized. So try to find the value which like the only value which you can give to the journalist, why to say why your startup is precious, why it's differs from the others in your field, and why this journalist needs to cover you. Um, So yeah, the first to sum up, the first thing which you need is to research the database of the visitors of the event and schedule meetings. And while scheduling, while pitching to journalists, try to use as much personalization as it is possible. So only then journalists will pay attention to you.
Okay. And so, when should founders share their ideas with the media, with the press? Just when they have an idea, or do you feel that they should have built something out already, generating some revenue, or maybe some investments? What are your thoughts about that?
Uh, Yeah, so if you have only the idea, I suppose it's like not the great time to start pitching. The best way how to start pitching is you have already created some product or you have some and you know some data to share because for startup for journalists for readers the most one of the most important thing which you can share is these numbers, this data. Based on this, journalists and readers of the media can figure out whether your startup, your idea is successful, important, or not. So in that case, I would like to advise first to start creating your product, probably find some first partnerships or I don't know, even some investitions in investors, and only after that start pitching. But try not to like put it in the end of your to-do list because it's also crucial to be featured, to be showcased in the media, but still only when you have some stuff to share, not just an
Okay.
idea.
And so, what cost-effective yet impactful strategies would you recommend for PR, especially knowing that startups don't have a lot of budget or they don't have a lot of money to spend on PR?
Yeah, so actually, first, what I would like to advise is partnering with other probably brands and even those or companies and even those which are not in the direct competition with your project, with your startup, with your idea. So it could be really win-win situation, especially when two brands collaborate, which are from really from different fields like for example music and tech or fashion and tech something like that then some interesting connection creates and such collaborations they are interesting for the journalist so it can be like an opportunity how to gain some additional media coverage uh, for your startup. So the second thing which I would like to to say it's being the part of communities for example such as European Association of Software Engineering like we provide our members with some PR articles as well because we have some mhm, a lot of contacts throughout Ukrainian media as well as international ones so um, you can join such conferences as Brits and Pretzels event, as Rigacom, which we also managed to do during this fall. And it's really like a great way how to open new opportunities for your startup or for your brand. Not only this, but such communities, they have some database of the contacts, like residents of the community, which can lead you to new partnerships as well. Probably you can even find some investitions right in such communities. So it's also about the PR. You can PR is not only about media coverage, but about some events, some I don't know, some networking, and so on. Okay, and the last thing is to create some social cases, to support some social cases. They can really boost your PR because, and it's not only about boosting your PR, it's about making some things together to help the society, the world to grow. And of course, it boosts your reputation, and journalists have an interest to this.
And Is there something that's called too much PR for startups, or is it always good PR? Like no matter how much they do in terms of PR.
I think that overdue PR is not that a big mistake. So first, yeah. So three main things which I would like to ask to advise is media coverage, is partnerships, and events like networking, speaking at the events. So these 3 points are the most valuable for your PR promotion.
So, how should startups approach PR crisis management? Because crisis can happen for startups as well, right? And what is your thought process behind if something goes wrong in a startup? What should they do? Should they still talk with media, or should they completely avoid it? What is your opinion about that? Because that's something I know startups might fail. Startups might do something wrong because they're startups. They're not huge corporates. I mean, everyone can make a mistake, but what are your thoughts about if something goes wrong? Should they inform media that hey, there was something wrong, and then we would like to inform our customers or so on, or like we need to fix this?
Yeah, so you are absolutely right that clear and good communication is not only about saying that we never face any crisis or something like this, as it's about human being, about our life. We all make mistakes and it's okay. So actually, I would like to start for some advices and then give just a short case again from the Ukrainian market, how the PR one startup just uh, made a great crisis communication. But still, what's important to manage this crisis communications as even in this situation when everything is good and you have no crisis, stay ahead. So understand that surroundings can always change and try to analyze your competitors, your clients, your some partners or some stakeholders on the market, and then just keep an eye on these trends and your competitors and be bold and transparent in your approach. So try to predict, I don't know, some crisis situations which may happen. And remember, actually, that the majority of people, like 80 or 90%, they value a brand's social involvement. It's the same thing which I said previously. Like it's better to support some social projects. Firstly, because you can really help the society, the world to grow, to go ahead, and but actually, you can increase your reputation, boost it, just find some new coveragers on the media, and also work before this for this crisis communication. Because when you make a mistake, but before it you had a lot of great things to be done, then this mistake is not so crucial compared if you just were doing nothing and made the mistake.
Hmm.
Yeah, so two different situations. And also, you if talking about the rules of communication while crisis, it's important not to be silent. So if you had done a mistake, you need to at least you have at least 1 hour to make like a reverse communication. Just probably you can respond initially in the comments, I don't know, somewhere on social media. It mustn't be like an official letter, or it can be just some post on social media of the founder or something like this. But still, it must be a response, like the first communication, and then you have like, I don't know, like 3 hours or 4 hours for the next official step, like some official communication, official stance about your position according to this crisis situation. And after that, you just have like 1 or 2 days to connect to this communication, some media, some stakeholders in your industry, and so on, in order not to make this communication only by your company, but also to join some other organizations to support you. So if talking about the Ukrainian case, actually it wasn't a startup. It was like a product company in Ukraine, but they create different products, like something similar to startups. So yeah, it was a half political situation that the founder of that company, he built an office in the territory where it was not allowed. In Kiev in Ukraine, and then like a huge crisis began. Like the government officials, they just published a lot of negative content about this situation. So like he is not following the Ukrainian government statement and so on. But all of the people, like his these founders, followers, and just simple Ukrainian stakeholders, opinion leaders, bloggers, media, they supported these companies, the founder of this company, because before this case, he had done really a lot of impactful social projects to help Ukraine, like starting from technical industry to just a simple like things like making the cultural history of Ukrainian more memorable. So they created a museum, which was public, and many other different projects. So people loved this founder, this company, and as a result, they supported him. So like the main, as a result, this crisis ended in this way that in Ukraine it's war. So there are many more things and challenges which you need to focus at, aim at, but not on such things as building office in some not appropriate place. So it's not so important now. So this way how this crisis ends, and it's only because of the good crisis communication before that crisis. So like the main value is not to wait until something bad will happen, but start to act now and think ahead.
And what do you think? Because now you mentioned about founders. What is the role of a founder in PR or marketing or using their social presence? Because most of the founders do have LinkedIn, right? What do you think is the role of that?
Actually, founders should be always active. If talking about communication, it's the best way. I know that some founders, they are not really pleased about that fact, and when it is so, when the founder is not so publishing person, then company or startup tries to find like the speaker, the stakeholder of the company. It also works, but still like founder, it's the best way. The founder have to be a public person. So it actually, if we're talking like the social projects, yeah, it's important for the founder to organize them, to be like the leading person in such things, but also not only about social projects, but still about some even communication with journalists, especially if we're talking about some international media. The involvement of founder startup is really crucial for them, like for the international journalists in tech. Journalists often prefer to talk like they directly to the founder or to some or to people which have some um, who are opinion leaders in the company, let's say that way. So um, and it's really, even, I know such cases that some PR professionals, they used the accounts of their CEOs to pitch the journalists to have more responses on it, and it's really worked. So that's why for founder, it's important to be active on social media in the or just somewhere on the media, on the newsletters, something like this, just to organize different projects connected with the company, connected with some social value, and then you will achieve a higher result of your PR activity.
So should founders share their stories? Like, why did they start the startup? Like, is what are they solving a problem, or are they do they just want to make money, or what exactly is the reason?
Actually, you mean like just stories about the startups? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, if what is the reality behind why did they start this startup? Because maybe they started out of to solve a problem.
Okay, so if we're talking about the stories, why did they started the startup? This story is great. So storytelling is one of the most powerful tool of PR, and for sure you need to just translate your stories to share your story everywhere you can. So on social media, to the journalists while pitching them, while pitching the investors. So actually, it's even more valuable to share your story of your startup, why have you founded it, and so on, while pitching journalists. Compared with some, I know, just ordinary pitch like, "Hello, my name is, and I would like to share with you some insights about my startup." So it's better to start with the story, like, why have you founded? What problem did you tackle with, and what inspired you on that journey? It's always interesting, and actually, I can see no challenges in it. So sharing a story is great, and it's only if the founder have some I don't know, like challenges when telling the story, probably something uh, too close to his heart or something like this. So you need just to work with the PR professional on this story. And I know some, even some cases when or just the startup even didn't have that story, so they created it from nothing. Actually, that it's not that good case, and it definitely wouldn't work on 100% compared to you have like your own real story, but still it might work.
So, what is your opinion about creating or drafting a story when there is no real story? Because maybe their goal was to make money.
In when creating like a story from nothing, you mean? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we're talking only about and if you use this story only in the communication with, for example, the journalist or some your employees, people who surround you, actually it's okay, but try not to make this story like definitely not true. For sure, it's better to base on some real facts. So even if you're a founder and you have no idea how to create this story, and you think that you don't have the story at all, and it's better to start from nothing, just think about one thing, what inspired you for creating this project. Probably it will be just a basic one to earn some money. So just a basic, which is not so interesting, yeah, for the journalist, not so inspiring, but still just to think over for what reason do you need this money, just yeah, I don't know, and for with what challenges you tackled with while creating this startup. Like even challenges is the most important and interesting thing. But if talking about this dangerous to create a story from nothing, it's I suppose that it won't be dangerous if you will use it in a proper way. So try
Okay.
not to make it, if you have nothing, try not to make it so unrealistic, and try not to use it somewhere on a huge public, only in your personal communication. Then it will work.
Okay, sounds good. And so now let's move towards more about how can someone who wants to be an aspiring PR specialist, what are your tips for them? People who want to grow into the field of PR, what should they do? What is the career path they should follow? Because I'm sure we have a few people in the audience who would love to understand what is your opinion about that.
Yeah, so if we're talking about this studying, it's better to have a bachelor's degree at least or master's degree in this public relations field, and try to find for some universities which gives you an opportunity to have an internship while studying, because in Ukraine we have such opportunities, and actually several of the universities can even offer to have internship in worldwide companies, like not only Ukrainian one, and it's really precious. So try to find universities with such opportunities to be then to have an ability to work with professionals which who can teach you like some PR secrets or something like this, and you will see how it works from the inside. And actually, if even if you have no such an ability, go to like marketing agencies, some companies who have PR, and just pitch them for the internship. Or try to use this pitch and focus on practice. So practice is the most important. Like yeah, it's like the main advice.
So let's now jump towards the future, because now we're coming to an end also of the podcast. What do you think is the future for PR? We see a lot of AI tools coming on the rise, a lot of cool stuff happening in AI and generally in also PR. But what is your opinion that is the future that you believe is going to be the future, or something that we can, like anyone from PR can take away with them as a key tip on how to do PR?
Mhm. Actually, the main thing is having your it's having this personalized communication. So we okay, so this personalized communication, it's important because when we have these AI tools which many people use, especially like while writing taxes, while communication, uh, these Zooms, Google Meets, virtual meetings, as the same as we have right now. It's great, but still, people are lack of this one-to-one, people-to-people communication. And it is the main value that you, as a PR professional, can um, promote, can use in your work, and it can lead you to some successful results. And from my point of view, it is the future of PR, not just using as much technologies as you have, and try to delegate your work on the AI ChatGPT written content, but do it in personal. Talk with people in real life, and like just to give them your energy, and gain the energy of the other person, and then create something really valuable and interesting. So the future of PR is in this people to people communication. People want to connect with other people, and that's the main thing. And it's the common thing. As for PR, at startups, as for PR and established companies, this personalized communication really works. And if talking about some startups, PR future features, so I also suppose that still building connections like with real journalists in real life is valuable. So you can create your own events just to gather journalists together and create those connections. So you can create your own communities. It's a great trend and tendency which we can see now, and I believe that it will develop better and better in future.
I see. It's wow. To be honest, it was amazing. Um, it was a very interesting call. It was a very interesting call that we had, because now we are coming to an end. It has an end absolutely incredible and insightful discussing PR and startups, like how startups can take care of PR. When should founders jump in? What should they do? With Natalia, it was very, very great. Thank you, Natalia, for the time. And we learned how founders must take care of PR. Not only founders, how can also people from the team use the profiles of founders, on act on behalf of the founders and go towards communicating with journalists. And you need to have something built, for example, and generate revenue. PR can be very helpful. We learned that it can help you in raising money. It can be helpful uh, in promoting your product, your startup. And also we learned that it is possible to still do it in an effective manner. And then lastly, you mentioned one really good thing that yes, AI is doing a lot of things and it's helping us at a lot of places, but it is still important that you go outside and meet these people, because at the end of the day, it is key that you will meet people, because one-on-one communication is still very important. And with that being said, I am very thankful to you, Natalia, for taking the time and exploring this PR for startup growth and branding. It has been very delightful, and I'm very grateful to you for sharing this valuable knowledge with us. Thank you so much, Natalia.
Yeah, thank you, Majid, a lot for this great podcast and for this opportunity. It was a real pleasure for me to participate, and I suppose I believe that some of my advices were just precious or helpful for the audience. So have a great day, and thank you a lot again.
To our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the executives this week. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your network, because you never know whom might this help. Until next time, this is your host, Majid, signing off. Thank you.